Alrighty guys, we're back and this is the second video of my 5 videos. A little bit more about Fusion. They do updates like very frequently. A lot of times if you don't update, you can't use your Fusion, which is kind of a bummer. However, the updates make it run faster a lot of times, so it's good to update it. But you can also do what's called offline work, and offline work you can draw and do everything you can online, just offline, and then when you come back to internet, it's like the same thing as Google Drive. It'll save your changes and all that. I mean, if you update, you typically don't see any crashes in this thing. It's very stable, stable program to use. As I was talking before, I'll go over this sketch slider in just a minute. What I want to do is I want to start, when you're drawing stuff, you want to try to stay for sketches. The sketches are easier to work than bodies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead here. When you start a sketch, it gives you this so you can pick what plane you want. I'm just going to pick this one. Alright, so when you go into there with your sketch, so I'm drawing a rectangle right now, and you see these boxes, the two boxes there. So say I want a rectangle that's 2 inches, and then I just type in 2, and then tab, hit the tab key, and then 4. So there's the 2x4 rectangle. And I'm going to hit enter, it's going to spin, and I'm going to get a 2x4 rectangle. So there's that one. Alright, so then you come up here to this stop sketch. And I'm just going to get 2 sketches here so you guys can see what's going on. So there's one sketch, and then we're going to make another sketch, same plane. Let's do it out here. Also, when you type in the increments, it gives you these things. And what these things do is they tell you how big it is, but when you don't type in the increments, it will not give you those. So I just have one sketch right now. Let me see here. So just draw another one. Alright, so now I have 2 sketches. You can see over there in the sketch menu. We're just going to draw one here. And then there's another rectangle. So you can see here, if you want to take a sketch away and you don't want to see it, just click the little light bulb, and then you can take them away. You don't see them. So there's sketches. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this one because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to show you guys some other things here. Different tools. I'm going to start with the arc and the line tool because you need to know how to use those. If I can get this stuff to delete. Here. Alright, so if you want to go back in and edit a sketch, you right click on the sketch, you hit edit, and then that'll open the sketch up. You can see up there in the top right it says stop sketch again. So I can go in and I can do that. Get rid of the sketches while I'm editing. So I'm just going to draw another rectangle. Click it. There it is. Alright, so there's rectangles. You can do circles. You got all sorts of circles. If you drop this down, you can circles. You can do center point, 2 point, 3 point, whole bunch of stuff. And also, like here in this one, you can see this little arrow like that. If you click on this little arrow, it puts that tool up in your toolbar, so it's easier to get to. But I'm just going to go over the line and the 3-point arc right now. Alright, so for the line, you see the little L there on the right. So if you type in here the little L, so right now I have a rectangle, but if I type in L, it switches to sketch, or to the line. The L is the hotkey for line. So the hotkeys are very useful to know. They make drawing astronomically faster. So I'm just going to draw a little shape here. It fills it in when it's all closed up. So there's the line tool. I drew that with a line. And then here I'm going to show you the arc tool. So you just go point to point, and then you can pick the radius in the middle, and then there's the arc. Alright, so I have one more thing I need to show you guys. And then, again, you got the hotkey for extrude. Now, extruding is how we make shapes bigger or thicker in a way. So we're going to extrude. We'll pick this one, and then let me orbit around here a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, you'll notice when you click on a shape to extrude it, let me see here, extrude. Alright, so you click on a shape to extrude it, and then you get this little arrow. With a little arrow, if you grab hold of that and drag it, that's how you extrude something. So it's up there. So that's that one. Extruding. This is how you make shapes bigger. And also, if you want to extrude something different, you just orbit around here. So say I want to make this thing shorter from like this point to this point. So I just grab the extrude and then click on this one, and I can shorten this up a little bit. Now when you shorten, like when you go that way, it actually turns red what you're cutting away. What is red will go away. You can make it longer this way, or you can make it shorter this way. So like I said, what is turning red will go away. So then you hit enter and it goes away. Alright, one other thing I want to show you guys is the move tool. So when you're moving, you can move it side to side, whichever way you want. Or if you grab this thing here, you can move it up, down, side to side, whichever way. But the arrows will move it like up and down, side to side in that direct way. And then you can also type in how far you want to how far you want to move something. So we're just going to hit OK because it's where it's at. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys in this video is the fillet. So hotkey F, and then you can select which ones you want to do. We're going to select all 4 of those, and then we are going to type in here the fillet. So 0.25, we're just going to do that. And the fillet rounds over the corners. I used a pretty big number so you guys can see it. But it rounds them over, and it makes it really nice when you're 3D printing stuff. It makes a really finished looking product. I'll show you some more of those later. But yeah, so that's what the fillet tool does. It's really nice to use, and that's under the modify. So when you guys start, you won't see quite all these tools up here, but you can add them using the little arrows to get them up there. I think that's all I'm going to show you on this one. I'm going to come back in a little bit more on the next one here and show you guys how to use the circular pattern tool, and I might do a little bit more with the fillet tool. But tune in on that one and we'll go from there. Thanks.